Our business editor, Ross Greenwood, is with me. Ross, this comes in the face of enormous community and investor pressure.
Look, there's no doubt about that, Tom. And think about, first off, the community pressure, especially with a change of government, a change in policy, all about net zero emissions. And this is where AGL, which, as you point out, is not only the biggest energy generator, but the oldest easily at 185 years of age that it's been generating electricity in Australia. It effectively now says that it will close all of its coal-fired power stations starting next year with the Liddell Power Station, and then eventually Loy Yang A, which is the biggest in Victoria. That's going to be closing by 2035, some 10 years ahead of schedule. Originally, that had been slated to be closed by 2048. That was when there was a proposal to split AGL in two and to put all of the coal-fired generators into one company alone. Now that proposal's been scrapped, and now this Loy Yang A power station will be closed by 2035. But you can see there are also big investments that AGL will make into renewable energies over a period of time to try to sustain the electricity grid. So here's the closures now. The Bayswater plant in New South Wales, the biggest in New South Wales, that'll be closed between 2030 and 2033. That's the same as a previous announcement by AGL earlier this year, the same as Liddell, which will go offline from next year. The important part about this also is that really, when I spoke with the Chief Executive, Damien, the interim Chief Executive, just a short time ago, he indicated that he believes that there will be plenty of electricity in the grid for Australia, and it will use both current and future technology to basically make certain that the grid remains robust and prices remain affordable for Australians and for business here. And that's the key to the way in which it goes. But the second part about this, Grok Ventures. You can't do any of this story without talking about Mike Cannon-Brookes. And the reason for that is because he clearly has been seeking significant change, including the closure of these coal-fired power stations, as he's become the biggest shareholder at AGL.
The ownership and board of AGL is up in the air.
Well, it is very much. One of the things I asked Damien is whether this was his pitch to become the permanent chief executive. He said diplomatically that he'll be there as long as the board wants him. But that board is about to undergo significant change and could see really control of the whole company delivered to Mike Cannon-Brookes. Now, there are 4 directors that he wants to put up. Here's Mike Cannon-Brookes, of course, who is the man behind Atlassian, who's now become the biggest shareholder and the most influential shareholder at AGL. But on top of that, there are 4 others that he's nominated to the board. One of them is Kerry Schott. Now, Kerry Schott's a former boss of IPART, the energy regulator in New South Wales. Another, John Pollers, who is a known businessman, noted businessman. There's also Mark Twidell, who's pictured here, who's got a background in energy, and Christine Holman is the 4th. Now, these are independent directors. Now, by appointing independent directors and are not beholden to Mike Cannon-Brookes, you've got a situation where he might very well carry many of the big industry super funds to vote in favour of those candidates, and as a result, he ultimately will get effective control of Australia's oldest and largest electricity generator.
It's a brave new world. Ross Greenwood, thank you. Big announcements in that sector today.